All right. No, I think we're good. Hey everyone, welcome to the episode of That's All Kayfabe. That's what we're doing, right? Yeah. And
Yeah,
yeah,
you're right. It's 12:03. You're
today
right.
on Sunday, I'm here with my buddy Gabe. How you doing, Gabe?
I'm doing all right, man. How about yourself?
Uh, I'm all right. Could sleep more, but I'll probably sleep after we do this. Knowing me.
Dude, I know, man. I feel like I've been doing a bunch of shit this weekend, and I feel like I took on the world, but my sleep is very much deprived.
Mm-mm-mm.
hmm Just the
No.
things of being an adult, and this room, there's a lot of like emptiness behind me. We're moving shit around. I took out a whole couch by myself. I think I said that last week, right? I took it out by myself and we moved everything onto the other side. So this other side is just like a giant clusterfuck. But Giselle's gonna fix it up, make it look real nice and everything. And we're gonna turn it into an office. And hopefully once we get a desk in here, I'll have like a different setup, probably.
Hell
Fingers
yeah.
crossed.
You got
Yeah.
to be professional. Make it professional, right?
Do you enjoy like messing with the feng shui of your room?
Every now and then, like it'll hit me like every few years where I'll be like, man, I want to move. I like it'll hit me, and I'll be like, oh, you know what? I know a way I can move the room around to it for it to be better, but it's very like seldom, like a cicada, like every so many years I'll suddenly like, oh, it could be better this way, and then I'll like move everything.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel like I am a what are they called, nomad, when they move around a lot. Or
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
feel like I'm a nomad. I feel like I move a bunch of shit around. I want to try to switch stuff up, but it's funny because Giselle's like totally opposite. Like it's like she'll keep things like the way they are because she's like, oh, I like it this way. And one time I try to fix the living room up, and I'm like, oh, it looks good this way. And then she comes home one time, she's like, I don't like it. Can you change it back? I'm like, yes, dear. And then I changed everything back. It was just like a lot of extra work I had to do.
Women with their hunting and gathering,
I
instilling in
know.
them, and the
Yeah,
berries.
curse them and their idea for fashion and home design. Curse them.
I
Having
tell
a
you,
keen eye for being cozy in the seasons.
curse them for eating the apple on the tree.
Curse them for eating that hot chip. Uh, but no, it's like even though like she has like a keen eye for like like to work with like the feng shui. It's like me, it's like I like things certain ways and I'll kinda like be skeptical when she wants to move stuff around. And then when she
Mhm.
does it, I'm just like, oh, you're right, this does look nice. Or, oh yeah, this does look nice. So right now we're like decorating for fall. We still got a bunch of stuff we need to put up and everything. I'm like, oh yeah, this all looks nice. And so like all of our spring stuff's in a corner, but I gotta put that in the attic, and it's just like I know I'm doing that all by myself, and it's like I don't want to, man. It's all heavy. It's all heavy.
Oh my god, no, I don't look forward to that now. Well, especially now when it's getting into quote unquote winter, where it's supposed to be
hmm
colder. I prefer not to move anything around. Just stay, you
Oh,
know.
dude, let me tell you, once it hits the Friday after Thanksgiving, fucking everything comes down and Christmas gets set up. Like that is mandatory. The Christmas music, the decorations, hot chocolate with a little bit of liquor inside of it,
hmm
and they tell you, man,
hmm
you're set. Like that's chef's kiss, man.
Does your tree? Because I know my family, they don't take it down till like July or something. Do you leave your tree up, or do you take it
Oh
down?
shit!
We're just that's out of laziness though. That's not like just for the holidays. It's just we're just too lazy to take it down.
I remember me and her we had this discussion when we first got our tree because her grandparents got us a fake tree and we put it up in the attic. And when I lived with my dad, they would keep the tree up until like 2 weeks into the new year, and then they'll take it down. Which I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then when me and her moved in together, she was like, oh, let's keep it until your birthday. And I'm like, my birthday's in February. I was like, I'm not doing that. And then so when it comes to like taking the tree down, I try to take it like maybe like a few days into the new year, like the most maybe like 2 weeks into the new year, because that's when I'm like, okay, I need to start taking everything down. But I think the longest I left something up was the Christmas lights outside because I decorate the house, and those stayed up until like a little before my birthday, so it's like the beginning of February.
Mhm.
I don't want to be one of those families that leaves up their Christmas lights outside all year long. And they're like, oh, we could just plug it in when it's Christmas. I'm like, nah, dude, that's scary.
How's it scary? I don't see the scary part of it.
Isn't it like a fire hazard?
I mean, but they're outdoor. They're built for the outdoors, so I don't know.
Uh, yeah, I guess. But then again, everyone's different. Like,
Yeah,
they try to staple it into the base and then they staple the wire itself and they're like, oh, it's being held up. I'm that. I don't want to risk it, you know?
yeah. No, I hear you. I
You
I
know,
get that idea.
I don't have a keen eye for precision. You know, if it stays up, it stays up.
Well, speaking of staying up, and I don't know if
Let's
that
go.
I don't know if that segues into what we're talking about. TNA Victory Road 2024. You went to this event, right?
I went there live. I went with my brother and my friend Paul. Shout out to Paul and Richie. And we had second row seats actually. And
Dang.
a lot of the pictures that I was able to take, I posted it up on Twitter and everything. Oh, cool, you got
Yeah,
them.
yeah. I got some pictures here. See if I could. Where's the
Yeah,
Zoom
because
link?
while you're doing all that, I could talk about it a little bit. It was at the
Zoom in.
Boeing Tech Point Center. I wanted to say that's what it's called. Boeing, like the aviation company, like the ones that sent those people up into space and they left them there, so now they're like stuck there for months.
Ah,
Uh,
yes.
yeah, and it's a nice venue. It is like really nice, like very fancy for what it is. So the shots that I got, like for audio listeners, most all the pictures I got, it's me facing the stage, and we had obviously we had second row, and to the right of the picture, they had a set of like pretty much the rest of the seats that went up, and then
Hmm.
just like smaller sections here and there, like on the other side. On the left side, they had two other giant screens where everyone could see. So like no one had like an obstructed view or anything. Like there wasn't like really a bad seat in the house. And I was surprised that they were able to make a wrestling show with the space given, but it was really, really good and it was sold out too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that for how do you say? Oh, you can go ahead and play the video. I
You
can
can play
talk.
it slow.
Hell yeah, dude. And I was telling my friend the whole night, I was like, I will be upset if there's no table break of some sort tonight. And that was the one in the main event.
Well, see, that makes sense too to have it happen in the main event. If it was to happen, some sort of fucking table break.
Yeah, man. But overall, like, not to spoil the show. Well, we're gonna talk about it right now. But
Hmm.
like my opinion of the show, man, I had a great time, dude. It's like I had a like minor complaints, not with the show itself, but like it's mainly the audience, just because people don't know how to fucking behave. And like there was this one guy that was like belligerently drunk, and there was like a female ref in the ring, and he goes, "Hey ref, hey, hey ref, ref, hey, hey ref," like just kept
It was
going and
Vince
going.
McMahon.
I know it was like, God, he's gonna puke. But he was talking like that, and dude, I would look at him, and he was like this skinny but kind of built like Mexicano dude, like, and his eyes were just so puffy and glazed over, like if he just looked fucked up, and he started talking. Well, I wouldn't even say talking, like he was trying to catcall the ref, and then when the other refs come in, he's like, Like he was just slurring. You couldn't make out what he was saying, and it would just go like through the whole quiet parts of like in between matches and shit. And it was just like, dude, shut the fuck up, man. It's annoying.
At least you couldn't understand his slurring and what he may have been
Um,
saying.
swear to God, I am 85% sure he said the N word in the main event.
Mm,
Yes. Like in his slurring, like me and my friend, we looked at each other, we're like,
it's a
we
high
heard that,
percentage.
right? And then and like we just looked at each other. Yeah, we heard it. We heard it.
Well, I mean, at least you had good seats, and that table spot looked pretty. It sounded pretty epic. The like to be like right there and it,
Oh, dude.
watching it happen. You know,
I don't know, man. I was gonna reach my arm out to Nick Nemeth to tell me to tag me in, so that way my ass could get beat by Moose.
you wanted him to squeeze your hand gently, like they squeeze the ref's hand,
Oh
to
yeah, be like,
tell
oh
you
please.
he's
It's
okay.
like you're okay, you're okay, and I go like this, like I walk away.
Yeah. Well, that was here in San Antonio, TNA Victory Road. Were you there at the pre-show? Started with the pre-show.
The pre-show, halfway through the pre-show, because as soon as we got in, they already announced Kushida as the winner. It was Kushida versus Leon Slater.
Hmm.
I don't know how the match was because as soon as I entered in the building, like the bell rung and Kushida won. And I was upset, man, because I really wanted to see Kushida. Like he was really, really good. Well, he is good. Uh,
That's what it
excuse
says
me.
here. Kushida defeated Leon Slater. Kushida sprang up for a Spanish fly into an armbar on the mat for victory. So that's how
Oh
that
yeah.
went down. Next match, Alexander Hammerstone and Jake Something defeated Eric Young and Steve Macklin.
We saw this match, and let me tell you, dude, the physique of Hammerstone and Jake Something are fucking ridiculous, man. I never knew you could get muscles in certain places. And I'm not like in a sexual way, but like like muscles on their back and everything. Jake Something has like big shoulder muscles. Like it was ridiculous. I never seen anything like that.
Damn.
Okay, these pictures don't do justice. Maybe that one, the third one on the second row. Yeah,
This one,
that one. Yes, that one.
yeah, no, he looks like he's wanting to be like the newer WWE like AJ Styles and Randy Orton shit, you know.
Dude, like his muscle physique, like I don't understand like how these other pictures like came around because it doesn't look he doesn't look like that at all. Maybe that third picture. Or yeah, one of those two. Yeah,
Yeah, these are Drew McIntyre. I know.
yeah. But it was a solid match. The crowd was pretty hot for Eric Young just because Eric Young is badass. He had like Spurs themed tights and everything, which was pretty
Mm.
badass. It had like the little Spurs logo, but that was supposed to be like the Y and it spelled out Young on the back of his trunks.
Oh, that's cool,
Yeah, it was like silver and black. And I'm like, man, dude, I think that's why everyone was cheering him because everyone's Mexicano, and we all love Wemby.
dude. We love the Spurs. Fuck, the
Oh,
Spurs are
dude,
great.
man. Honestly, it's like if you live in San Antonio, the top two people are Selena and Tim Duncan, and there's like no in between.
That's true. No, the Spurs are just. I don't know. It's great. I don't know how you can't live here and not be a Spurs fan. Like that's just so
Exactly,
insane.
man. You'll get your ass beat.
You really will.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, there's some people will, man. Like they're all chingazo and everything.
So I guess the pay per view did start. The first match this year, Hardy's defeated AJ Francis and KC Navarro. Uh, that's good. I don't know. I don't know about how did it feel seeing like AJ Francis there? Was he doing it right?
It was surreal, dude. I felt like I was meeting like The Rock himself. But I was just like, like it was just so funny because everyone still kept calling him Top Dollar.
That's funny.
Drop
That makes
down, you
sense.
fucking suck. And like he would just look at everybody like, man, fuck you. But like he'll cuss at everybody. But he's very athletic for his size. Like it's
Mm.
crazy. He had some sick J's on, but obviously the highlight was probably the Hardys. I that's my childhood, man. It's like I almost cried when they came out and everything. They're old, but I mean they still got it, man. It's good. My friends, me, my friend Paul, and Richie, we all agreed that Jeff Hardy was probably high because he looked a little too mellow for it being a pay per view match because he was just there like this, like
What percentage would you say you put in if he was? Do you believe he was high?
oh shit, at least a 76% chance
That's
that
pretty
he
good.
was high.
That's pretty
Yeah,
good
because he
percentage.
was just like he threw his shirt out like that, and then he just went.
Well, I'm glad they got the win. They needed it, because they're the Hardys. They should be winning
I
against
know, man.
against these teams. I guess I don't know.
Man, I love the Hardys so much, man.
That's great. Next year, X Division Championship. Mike Bailey defeated Zachary Wentz to win the title.
This match here, I legit thought it was my match of the night. They were doing a bunch of crazy shit. Mike Bailey, speedball. He wrestles without shoes, and
Like the Von Erich or something,
yeah, like the Kevin Von Erich.
or
But he does a bunch
Riddle.
of yeah, he does a bunch of like flippy shit and like kung fu kicks and shit like that. Zachary Wentz, he was just like doing shit in NXT. So legit, I thought Wesley was gonna come out and like interfere with the match. But I'm kind of glad he didn't interfere in the match. He didn't come out or anything. I don't even think he was there. But it was pretty hard hitting, a bunch of spots and like pretty high flying, whatever. But I have to rate it low because it wasn't in the Tokyo Dome. Uh, but nah, honestly, like this was my match of the night. It lasted a good while. It was probably like about ah, Dave Meltzer. Like it was my match of the night. It was fucking awesome. I'm always a fan of Mike Bailey in general.
How was the crowd feeling it? Were they into it too?
From what the crowd, the section I was sitting in, they were pretty hot. Like we had a good spot that we were sitting in. Everywhere else, it seemed pretty good. I was reading on Reddit that saying like, oh, the San Antonio crowd's actually pretty good for the show. Like I know San Antonio is kind of like kind of ass when it comes to like wrestling shows, specifically with like Raw or SmackDown because we just don't react to anything. I don't know for some reason.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was pretty good. The crowd was pretty hot for it.
Hell yeah! I keep thinking I'm hearing something.
Yeah,
I hear voices in my head. No.
ah!
Next year on the match, Matt Cardona and Steph Delander versus PCO and Rhino, and it was canceled. And I'd heard about this. People were saying because she has a neck injury or she needs neck surgery. I believe your man.
She was telling the crowd, but the fucking crowd was doing the stupid what chants. And she's talking about like, oh, like I need neck surgery. What? It might be career ending. What? I'm about to go into what? And I'm looking around like, motherfucker, shut up.
I'm laughing at how terrible that is. I'm not
Oh,
laughing at
dude, it's
the
terrible. But
idea of it.
yeah, she it was supposed to be her and Matt Cardona versus PCO and Rhino. And let me tell you, I was upset because I wanted to see PCO wrestle. I wanted to see Rhino wrestle because Rhino just looked like a cool dude. I know it's
Yeah.
funny. She's talking about like how she's going for surgery and like it might end her career and stuff. And everyone's just telling Rhino to gore her, and then Rhino just looks back like this, like I was like, oh man. I was like, and then like I'm by this group that's like fucking talking shit, and I'm just there like, it's not me, Rhino. I promise. Don't smear me.
Well, I hope
Uh,
she makes a speedy recovery from that.
yes, definitely, man. It was sad to see her go. That's when before she started her speech, she grabbed a mic and she talked about like, oh, like it's a sold out show here in San Antonio. And I looked around and I was like, yeah, it looks pretty packed. Like it was like a couple empty seats, but it was probably because like some people didn't show up. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
Because there was people were buying tickets at the front and then they got cut off because they actually sold out. And I think it was like about 2,000 plus people from what I heard. Yeah, it was a good crowd.
Oh
Um
yeah.
yeah, so she announced that she needed this neck surgery. So she's married to PCO, so she walks out with PCO, and then Rhino's about to walk out, like he's outside the ring, and then Cardona kicks the rope so it low blows him, and then he does the fucking Rough Rider, whatever it's called, I don't know what it is, and he's just flicking off the crowd and everything, and then I think that was upsetting too because I wanted to see all three of these people like wrestle, but it's like
Yeah.
due to the circumstances, it's like they had to make do with what they got.
Uh, Making do. Well, I hope she's again fine, and that sucks that like it was expected, but it got changed at the last second or last minute or whatever. But
Hmm.
what can you do? What can you do?
Yep. Hmm. Yeah. Well, speed recovery when she goes through surgery.
No, definitely. We have here Knockouts Tag Team Championship. Jody Threat and Danny Luna defeated Masha Slamovich and Tasha Steeles to win the titles.
So for this match, um, Tasha Steeles wasn't originally supposed to be in this match. It was supposed to be Alicia Edwards, but she wasn't medically cleared because she had a concussion. So they got Tasha Steeles to replace her in the match. I have new hard eyes, man. It's for Danny Luna. Like my knees got weak when she came out, man. I don't know. Maybe it was just me, but she was one of the women for Spitfire,
Hmm.
and like they kicked ass, man. They were really really good.
Oh yeah, she looks kind of like Billy Starks or something.
Yeah, I don't know. There was something about her, man. I don't know what it was. Well, let me tell you, if you would have found a better picture, like, well, not a better picture. She's pretty,
Yeah,
but
at the moment is what you're saying. In the moment,
yeah, man, it's like she got my knees all weak, man. I didn't know what to do.
it's what scientists call pheromones, and I don't know.
Nah, man, I don't watch Fox News. I don't know what you're talking about.
The
Um,
cats are getting eaten in the. You want me to leg drop Kamala? Is she an
what?
Indian?
What?
Is she a chameleon?
What? Um, yeah, it was pretty good, especially since they had a last minute replacement. Spitfire did win, so they didn't break up. Alicia Edwards was out there with Marsha or Masha
Masha.
Slamovich, yeah, and like talking shit about her, and then Tasha Steeles like did a cutter on her, so like it was kind of like a turn that they did there. I don't know where it's gonna lead. I'm not too sure, but that was the end of the match. It was pretty good.
That's good. It's always good to have women in matches. I do
Hmm.
prefer. I prefer wanting to be with a woman over a man. Although
Hmm.
I don't think it would solve all my problems. No, I
No,
don't know.
yeah, yeah, no, I understand. It's to each their own.
No offense to you. No offense to all the listeners. Yeah. Uh, Next here on the match, speaking of women and men, no, Joe Henry defeated Josh Alexander.
Dude, let me tell you, man, this crowd believes in Joe Hendry. Man, this guy has the world in his fucking hands. I mean, obviously, like I popped hard for it, man. Like Joe
Oh
Henry was
yeah,
such a
you have
good.
to. You have
Yeah,
to.
exactly. And it was funny because at the end of the night, my friend Paul, he was just like, "Dude, I don't know, I don't understand the Joe Henry hype." And then Richie goes, "That's okay, man. You can walk home."
That's okay. A lot of human beings don't. mature until a certain age in their cerebellum, and
Yeah, it's like the brain doesn't fully develop until you're 25. It's okay.
don't worry, fetal alcohol syndrome is a thing. It's very common. to-
Oh shit, nah, but Joe Henry was good. Like he put on a good match. Josh Alexander, he's the one that wears that headpiece, that headgear that covers his
yeah,
ears, and
I like him. He's pretty
no,
cool.
yeah, he kicks ass, man. He has a he's built, but he's very slim for his figure,
Hmm.
and they both kicked ass, and I was surprised Joe Henry won, and it was good. Everyone's doing the arm wave, everyone's doing the clapping like that. It was great.
And that's what I think adds on to the Joe Henry thing is that he's actually a pretty like decent wrestler. Like, of
Hmm.
course, the gimmick is what like really sets it over the top, but he's actually like a pretty decent wrestler to go with the gimmick.
Yeah, like he pertains to the crowd. Like he has a crowd in his hands, man.
Hmm.
Everyone was behind Joe Henry. Everyone was fucking hot. It was pretty good. I really enjoyed the match. Um, the next match that happened, I can see here on your screen. It says the TNA World Tag Team Championships. Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards defeat Ace Austin and Chris Bay to win the titles. And I want to say this is probably my worst match of the night. Not
Oh
because
yeah.
it
Mm.
was terrible. Like it was far from terrible. There wasn't a bad match really on this card. It was. I think people were just drained out from Joe Henry.
I could hear, I could understand that for
Yeah, because it got to a point where my brother and I we were sitting there and we just stopped chanting for people like for a little bit because like man, dude, like my throat's raspy or like I feel tired. And by all means, it was nothing wrong with the performers. Like it was a decent match. I'm trying to remember like what happened. I know Alicia Edwards was out there again because they have a faction called the System,
Mhm.
and it's Alicia Edwards, Moose, Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers, and then there's someone else that's part of it. 'Cause I think there's five of them. Um, man, I apologize. I don't know the next person. But they ended up winning the match. They became the new tag team champions because it was really belonged to ABC. And yeah, it was good, like visually speaking, but I just wasn't really into the match because I'm trying to like build up my stamina like in a 2K game.
Yeah, you were drained from the last match that was
Hmm.
rowdy, rowdy fucking hyping up the crowd
I know,
over Joe
fucking
Henry.
spirit bomb, man. Like I gave my energy to Joe Henry to defeat Josh Alexander, and I felt it in my back.
Man. Well, that's what is there? Oh, here we go. The next match would be a knockouts championship. Jordan Grace defeated Wendy Chu to retain the title.
Um, for this one, Jordan Grace tried to get like a hometown welcome, and I was like, oh, cool. Like that was one of the big things. Like, oh, hometown hero, whatever. And then when they announced the wrestlers or the knockouts, they when not Wendy Chu, Jordan Grace. She was announced from Austin, Texas, and like the crowd goes crazy. I'm like, I'm not gonna cheer for her. She's from Austin. That's an hour away. Nah, but honestly though, Jordan Grace, she kicks ass. She was really fucking good in this match. Uh, she has muscles on muscles, dude. I didn't know muscles
For
could
real.
exist. Yeah, it's
For real.
crazy. She did win. She did win this match, and then afterwards, Rosemary came out and tried to attack her. Oh yeah, she attacked her. She speared her, and then Wendy Chu got her sleeper hold finish on her, and the reps came out like trying to break it up. So I think they're trying to prolong that feud, not with Wendy Chu, but probably like with Jordan Grace versus Rosemary, like down the
Mhm.
line. Which it'll be pretty interesting to see where that goes. Like Rosemary's pretty badass.
In this Wendy Chu, it says here, was she from NXT?
Yes,
Okay, so that's cool.
yeah, and
Uh,
like she has like this pajama girl gimmick when she first started, and it's like I don't know how far you could go with it, but now she's like psychotic, whatever. I don't know how that happened. But nah, she was pretty good in this match too. I was very surprised at what she was able to do because I guess like gimmick wise, I'm like, whatever. It is what it is. The match was pretty. It was decent. It was good for what it was.
Oh yeah, and lastly here, I think this is lastly, yeah. The TNA World Championship, Nick Nemeth defeated Moose to retain the title.
Um, Moose made a fan out of me. Like this dude, man, he's giant. He has a tall stature, and he was doing shit I didn't think was possible, like superplexes, runs up on the top ropes, hurricanranas, and Nick Nemeth, uh, he just sells the shit out of anything.
Hmm.
And like it was really good, man. I didn't expect the match to go on for that long too. There was a table spot in the match, which was fucking awesome. Made my night. Um, yeah, it was maybe about like a 20-minute match. It felt like 20 minutes. It felt like a very, very long time. But one of the other things, I didn't get to share it on here because I couldn't get a good picture. But fucking JBL showed up.
I
Yes,
had
dude.
seen another thing that he had showed up at, and he'd showed up here too. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
That night he showed up. He showed up at TNA at Victory Road. And dude, everyone got off their fucking feet. They're like, JBL, JBL. And he gave a fucking clothesline to hell to the system because the tag team that won earlier, the Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers, they came and pulled out the ref and like, oh, like we didn't do anything. And then here comes fucking JBL, just clotheslines from hell, both of them, dude. But he knocks the fucking shit out of them. Um, And it's just so funny when he showed up. Like you seen him show up in the videos, like he's wearing the dark trench coat and like the black shirt.
Yeah.
He showed up in the exact same thing that he did in those videos. And then I saw on Twitter today that he was in MLW for a show, and he showed up again wearing the exact same thing. He showed up and gave a clothesline from hell, and then he just fucking dips. I don't know like what his thing is.
I don't know why he's dressing up like a school shooter or something. He's got a
Yeah,
weird look too.
like someone put JBL showing up in MLW and TNA in his duster to do the same thing he's done in 4 other promotions makes me think for a reasonable fee, you could probably get him to show up to your birthday party and clothesline from get a clothesline from hell.
Yeah, he must be pretty reasonable to be everywhere all at
Oh,
once.
dude, yeah, it was great, man. I didn't expect JBL to be there at all. Like, and then he just gives the nod to he tips his hat to Nick Nemeth, and I was just like, oh my god, it's JBL. It's the leftist JBL.
Well, that was Victory Road. What would you say you give it?
It was a solid 8. Like I really did enjoy it. Um, it was probably one of my favorite wrestling shows that I've been to in a while. The only reason why I say that, like a major factor that has to do with this, because we had good seats. But I felt like no matter where we sat, even if we sat up like in the rafters, there would have been a bad seat in the house. A1, A1.
And was it long? Did it feel long? The pay per view?
No, it ended at 10 o'clock.
Oh, okay, hell yeah.
Yeah, because the pre-show started at 6:30. They had 2 matches, and then 7 o'clock it started with the main show, and then afterwards they had meet and greets that you could pay for. It was Jordan Grace. You can meet the Hardys, Joe Hendry, and Mike Bailey. You can meet one of them for a fee, but I was like, I don't know if I want to spend money on that right now. So we just ended up leaving and we got Subway.
What'd you get from Subway? I'm hoping a meatball marinara. No.
I got a Mr. Pibb.
Oh, okay. So a beverage at a sandwich place.
Yeah, I know it's weird. It's because they wanted Subway, and I was like, "Ooh, I just want a Pibb because I have pizza here waiting at home already."
Okay, okay. Well, there you go. That's how you save money.
Yes, sir.
Nice
Spend
work.
$3 on a bottle of soda.
Well, moving on to I guess the news after that pay per view. Or my is this it? Yeah, here we go. Here's a quote from I don't give a fuck how many people are following you. Former wrestler Kevin Nash is furious with WWE for paying Logan Paul 5 million despite him not being a full time wrestler. I don't know if you
Five
have
million
more.
dollars.
I don't know if we have more news on this, but to me, I feel like it's the pot calling the kettle black when you have Kevin Nash who made all this money in WCW for barely like not doing anything, just showing up, taking care of his drunk friend. You know,
Oh man. Um that like there was more like context to it. I forgot what it was, but I guess on this podcast he was talking all this shit about Logan Paul. Like, man, fuck Logan Paul. I don't give a fuck, whatever, blah blah blah, all this other shit. He's
mhm.
bad for the business. And it just I don't know, because people, a lot of people in like the comment section were saying that Kevin Nash is bitter, like, he's ungrateful, whatever. But I mean, he did lose his son,
Yeah,
and he had some other tragedy that happened to him recently. I forgot what it was, but just like I feel like he has every right to be bitter, like, because that's a hard thing to like recover from. And two, it's Logan Paul. Everybody hates Logan Paul.
yeah, no, that's true. It's just easy to hate Logan Paul. He makes himself so unlikable so easily. You know.
Yeah. That's like I wish I was just giving more context to it so I could give more of an opinion, but I can't really much say anything else about it. Be like, yeah, fuck Logan Paul.
I don't know. It just like I said. Yeah, no, I know Kevin Nash has gotten a lot of shit happening with his son, and then Scott Hall, rest in peace.
Hmm.
But the whole concept of him being mad about a wrestler being paid, like I said, and he's the one who went to WCW with Scott Hall, and they did whatever they want. Basically, got paid millions and shifted like how much people were making. Like
Hmm.
they were getting big bucks in WCW just because what's his name or WCW was just trying to pull talent away from WWF. So it's just kind of ironic to me there, but I could see Kevin Nash being bitter just because he's older. Like everybody's bitter. Goldberg. Yeah, I don't have
Bill
to call him
Goldberg.
Bill Goldberg. Bill Goldberg. No, I could see an older wrestler just being bitter about shit. But at least to me, Logan Paul is kind of doing worth what he's not. Maybe he's not worth that much, but at least he's putting on a good show and
Hmm.
trying his hardest and doing a lot for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I can understand like the cult, like saying that oh, I don't give a fuck how many followers you have. Like, I don't give a fuck if you're like an influencer, whatever, lack of a better word. It just kind of bums me out when it's like another old time wrestler is just kind of shitting on other wrestlers or like a product of today. I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, it's like there's stuff that we could put into question, like like questionable booking, but I feel like it should just be like this whole giant support thing, especially from a legend like Kevin Nash, dude. Like, I mean, the Jackknife Powerbomb, one of the best finishers ever,
Hmm.
and it's I'm just there thinking, man, like you could be a little bit more supportive. I understand it's Logan Paul, but from like the interviews I've been seeing with Logan Paul, like he does care about putting on a good show, and he understands like the business aspect of it. I mean, obviously he has a partnership with Prime and WWE, like something must be going right, like for both sides. And it's like that's what you should want, like for wrestling as a whole, for it to be successful.
I think that's just him trying to find a problem in something that is, just trying to pick out unnecessary drama when there doesn't really need to be. You're just nitpicking at this point, you
Yeah.
know. Because it's like it's WWE, it's TKO. Technically, they have all this money. I'm sure, like billions of dollars. They can pay whatever they want to whoever they
Hmm.
want. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just want a better support system, man. That's all I want.
Well, with that in mind, Wait, I don't know if that's I don't know if that segues into this. This was breaking as of September 9th. WWE has officially announced that from Monday, October 7th, 2024 to the end of 2024, WWE Raw will be 2 hours.
Hmm.
Uh, when I saw this, I was like, is this a exciting thing? Because the way it's being announced is like, oh shit, 2 hours. And then I was reading the comments and it's like, what? It was 3 hours before, right? I guess.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. No.
why would they be like exciting if they're cutting an hour? I don't understand, you know?
Yeah. It's a double edged sword, I believe, because I mean, like, fuck, not even 10 years ago, maybe like 20 years ago, like Raw and SmackDown, they were both 2 hours. Start at 8 o'clock, ends at 10. Start at 8, ends at 10. And I want to say maybe like 2011, 2012 was when they moved it over to 3 hours, a 3 hour show. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, it must be a big deal. But it's like, oh, no, that's just the new norm. And it's just kind of, at first, I would think that's kind of weird because pay per views are 3 hours long. And it doesn't, like, these aren't pay per views. Like, these are just Raws. And, like Raw, like 2019, that's one of the worst fucking TV, like, that's out there, right? No one wants to talk about Raw 2019. And now it's like with the way the product's been booming, it's like fuck yeah, dude. Like 3 hours of just like pure entertainment and wrestling, like that's badass. And for it to be cut down, it's like oh, like that's cool. It kind of reminds me of like Raw from like 20 years ago, like when it starts at 8 and to 10. But then I would think to myself, like how's that going to be for the roster? Because they got such a packed roster. It's like that's not going to
Yeah.
be enough time for anything. But my guess from this is that once they move to Netflix, like there's not gonna be a lot of like time restrictions because it's on Netflix. Like you can have a fucking episode go as long as you want, and well, that's what I'm assuming
Uh-huh.
because like I said, there's no time restriction. So like maybe one show could be like 2.5 hours, one might be like 3.5 hours. So I'm trying to think of like why it's getting cut down to 2 hours, especially now. It's like it could stay 3 hours until the rest of the year, and then once it gets to Netflix, just do it however long you want to.
Yeah, that's where I don't understand why it would happen out of nowhere. And I got a quote here from Wrestle Votes regarding the news of Raw switching to 2 hours for the rest of the year. I've heard that many production and social staff who work behind the scenes found out in real time, just like the rest of us. As for what this means for 2025 and Netflix, one source said WWE is eagerly anticipating the freedom to vary run times as needed. No firm decision has been made either way. Um, and like you said, the whole idea of like, oh, one show being maybe 2 hours, the next one being 3 hours, 2.5 hours, like it could vary at times. But I feel like, as humans, we're creatures of habit. Like that would kind of like mess with us if it was like a man, why was this raw so like why was that one so badass in 3.5 hours and then this one was like 2 hours? Why couldn't it be that long? Or vice versa?
Yeah, man. Like us humans in general aren't very adaptive to change. Like it's a big deal for everybody. Like I mean, obviously, like this shit blew out the water because when I saw it, I was just like, oh shit. Like I felt like it was a big thing because we got used to it for being 3 hours since like 2012. That's already 12 years that they've been doing it.
Hmm.
And that's kind of like where I am too. It's like like why now? Like you could fuck with the run times. Like once y'all go to Netflix, I mean whatever floats y'all's boat. But then again, I don't run $1 billion business, man. I just watch it.
This is true, and yeah, like you said, and like speculating, we don't know how it's going to be on Netflix with it being live. There's really nothing for it to interrupt,
Mm-hmm.
like so they could technically do whatever, however long time they want to, and not worry about interrupting.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if there's going to be a standard runtime or if times are going to vary when it goes to Netflix. That's because that's not like guaranteed as of now. Right now we
Yeah.
know it's 2 hours. That's it. We don't know if it's going to go back up to three, stay at two, or
Hmm.
they're just going to do all willy nilly whatever they want to for
Hmm.
Netflix.
Do you think it's good that they're staying at 2 hours for the rest of the year?
I mean, for a person like it just depends on the person. Like a person like me, I'm glad I guess it's cut down. But yeah, when you were saying about like they already have a stacked roster and to lose an hour and you're like, well, fuck, we gotta tighten up this or cut this or cut that, and I don't know. It's just it sounds like why would you make that choice in the middle of whatever? It's kind of a
Hmm.
weird thing. And then to advertisers too, that's like less advertisers as well when there's less time, or you're gonna crunch the same amount of advertisements in that same amount of time, but
Hmm.
cut whatever else. So I don't know. I'm not sure because I don't really watch the weekly product, so I don't know. It doesn't
Yeah.
really affect me. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes, man. I'm interested though to see where this leads to.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's a positive reaction and not people immediately shitting on it because we know the internet will tell us if they immediately shit on it if something's
Hmm.
wrong with it.
Yeah, but WWE could do no wrong, man. It's AEW.
It's the Fed, man. The Fed.
The fucking Fed. It's fucking Vince.
We have here a quote from WrestleOps. TKO President Mark Shapiro states that WWE will be cutting down on live events even more next year and explains taking on less of the marginally profitable events. Quote, what we're doing is cutting events at WWE, so we're taking our marginally profitable events, untelevised events that Vince McMahon had put in place to grow the brand, right? You're taking the show on the road and we got to go to every city and we can get to grow the WWE brand. Well, the WWE brand, while we still have to grow it, it's on fire right now, so we don't need to carry these marginally profitable events. So what was 300 events last year will be roughly 250 this year, and next year will be close to 200. Via Goldman Sachs Communacopia and Technology Conference. So yeah, what do you think about less live events or untelevised live events?
Yeah. I think that's good. Like they know like they're already making a fuckload of money, and it's like, oh, like why are we doing these live events if they're not really generating a lot of revenue? You know. Um, I feel like maybe with live events they could probably just do them and like if they're trying to like build up to a pay per view and maybe like, oh, like this happened at a live event, like catch what happens at the next pay per view, kind of like build up shit like that, or maybe like if they go overseas, they could do a couple shows where there's like they go to Japan or Germany or Australia, like they could do like a couple live shows there because they rarely go to other countries in the first place. And two, I feel like it's good for the performers too, man, because
Mm-hmm.
300 plus shows a year, dude, that takes a fucking toll, I bet, man. And like you hear from like wrestlers, like old school wrestlers, where well, not even old school, it's like within the past few years, like Cody Rhodes has had like 250 matches like last year, along with Dominic. And I know like John Cena, he would perform at every live show. Like, this shit was fucking crazy. That's like that. Like I'm pretty sure that takes a toll on anybody's body. Like having to perform like that. Just like constantly go, constantly go, constantly go.
No, yeah, I agree with you on that second part with the talent. Like, you already have like I can understand you doing these untelevised events if you're trying to promote the shit out of your business, but it's a business that's already doesn't need any promotion.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's cool for the fans to have these untelevised live events, but at the same time, if they're barely profitable, like, I mean, they're profitable, but I think it doesn't outweigh the idea of letting the talent rest for that
Hmm.
night, because yeah, if they put on one match here at an untelevised event, they could easily get injured or just tire out from it when they could have put that match on at a televised event or a pay per view or sorry, a PLE or whatever. Like they could have saved the energy for that, or save the spot or not do this or that there. So I
Hmm.
think it's better on, like you said, that second topic of the talent, where it'll give them a chance to rest. And the only thing negative I could see is that even with the this coincides with that 2 hour runtime. If there's less time and there's less events, there's less of a chance you'll get to see your wrestler if he's not in the spotlight. Like if it's someone like a Shinsuke, where we're like, man, we love him, but we never get to see him, and it's like, oh, maybe I'll see him at this live event, this untelevised live event,
Hmm.
because they need a wrestler to come out. They need wrestlers to come out, and then it's like, oh, we're cutting those down. Oh shit! Well, maybe I'll see him on one of the hours of the 3 hour Raws. Oh, we're cutting it down an hour. Well, shit! When am I gonna see like my favorite wrestler if you're cutting it down, trimming all the fat? Where I don't know. That's the only negative I could see in it. Otherwise, like I feel like it does outweigh the negativities, the positives of like
Hmm.
doing this.
No, I agree with you 100% too. And also, that kind of goes in relation with the PLEs because they only keep them like 5 match formats.
Hmm.
And like you said, it's like, man, I would love to see Shinsuke like be promoted on one of these PLE events. We fucking love Nakamura on this channel.
Hmm. Hmm.
If y'all can't tell, it's like, with all these chances that are getting just cut down and cut down and cut down, it's good that's profitable, but it's just like I hope there's another plan that's being put together so that way a lot of these performers can be shown on TV. It's like I don't want them to go to AEW and then it'd be the same thing in AEW, and then it's like you can perform. Like no knock on TNA at all, but it's like it's not like a juggernaut compared to WWE. Like you don't have that much of a larger audience compared to that. And it's like, yeah, it's like, they have good performers. They have excellent performers on TNA, but it's like I think they totally deserve a bigger crowd for like the shows they've been putting on.
Hmm. Hmm. No, TNA reminds me of like a NXT sister location type thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's really good, and in the end, it's like I want the best for all these performers because they all kick ass. Uh, I just hope there's probably another plan that's intact or that's on the horizon, so that way a lot of these people can be displayed more to a larger audience.
No, yeah, I think they deserve it. You
Hmm.
deserve it, cha cha. You do, you know how it is.
Oh man, I'm
Speaking
closing my
of
eyes because they're gonna roll out. Oh.
speaking of television opportunities, there's been a discussion backstage and within the TV world that select AEW content could be headed to Fox/slash Tubi after the AEW Shockwave trademark emerged. There was internal speculation in both worlds that a new program could be headed to the Fox family of networks, whether it be Fox itself, Tubi, SF1, or anywhere else via Fightful Select. What do you think about this?
It's interesting because I mean that'd be cool if it was on Fox, like the main Fox channel, because like that way they can get bigger audiences to be part of the show. But then again, I don't think it's gonna be on Fox. Like I feel like it's gonna be put on something else where they're gonna see the type of content that AEW is promoting and be like, oh, well, we can't show that on major television, like on a major television network. I mean, obviously, the fucking syringes and blood and fire and thumbtacks, or like the strip skewers and shit like that. People getting cut up. Um, I feel like you can't show that to like a casual audience, like on a big time television program. You know,
Hmm.
I was like, I don't know where they could be able to get away with something like that because Tubi, Tubi has a bunch of like good free stuff. It
Yeah.
really does. But I don't think with FS1 like they would be allowed to do some of the stuff, not unless they just stuck with just the actual wrestling aspect of the performance and everything. I'm sorry, I just heard something outside. That it's like if we get put on Fox, they probably can't be able to do all the thumbtack spots, all the glass spots, all the all the blading spots. Not unless someone gets bust open hard way. What do you think of it?
I'm thinking of it as, and I don't know about AEW Shockwave because it could be anything, not just a pay per view or a show. But I'm thinking more along the lines of kind of like how WWE had that, like, be making a fighter, or what is it, like, becoming a fighter?
Oh,
Uh,
tough
like,
enough.
yeah, kind of like a Tough Enough. Like, I know WWE was doing something like that on Roku, with
Hmm.
the NXT people, like a behind the scenes. So I feel
Yes.
like it would be a show like that, where it would be, or even like that one with Bianca Belair and her husband, like a reality show. Oh, this is
Hmm.
our lives. I feel like it would be more fitting of them to do content like that on a show like Fox or Tubi, where it's not like a wrestling show traditionally. It's more just a backstage or a reality show or something. That would fit more, because Fox, does shit like Hell's Kitchen and stuff like that. So who knows if they want, like, oh, become the next AEW wrestler here at the Tougher Enougher or whatever the fuck they want to try to trademark. So or even that one show they were saying, they were announcing, where it was like AEW Adrenaline, remember, where it would have like the wrestlers talk about their favorite, like, thing that gave them the most adrenaline while watching a clip of this high adrenaline content going down.
Hmm. Yeah,
So I don't feel like it's a wrestling show per se that they're shopping around on these networks. It's more reality show based. That's
that make
my idea.
that makes sense. I feel like if they were to do like a reality based show on Fox, like that would hit big. I feel
Yeah.
like it would definitely hit big, and I feel like that would be best for their business too. Um, because I already forgot until you mentioned it that they had like a reality show based AEW show. But I remember it because it was like Sammy Guevara talking to Tony Khan, and like Tony was just standing in the corner, like in the about the ceiling, like with both legs.
Like a fucking like a gecko or something.
I
Like,
know,
just
like he's
stuck there.
possessed, like Pazuzu, something, like in the corner. He's like, yeah, Sammy, I got you booked for tonight. 3 weeks out. I don't know.
Yeah.
He says some shit like that. Uh, um, it's interesting because I feel like that if they end up creating another fucking wrestling show, that they got to make sure that they follow those guidelines to be successful. Because SmackDown was successful on Raw, it was pretty good. It had some shit here and there that was kind of stinky, but for the majority of it, it was pretty good. I feel like AEW can do that, but they have to do something about getting rid of another show or something, man. Like, cause that'll be the fourth one already, I think, because it's Collision, Dynamite, Rampage, and then Shockwave,
Yeah.
and
They
it's
need
like,
it. They're the ones that need to tighten up on their content, like the
mhm.
from going from 3 hours to 2 hours, or moving that 1 hour and combining it with something else or something.
Yeah, I feel like the one thing that would really benefit them is probably doing like a draft and just keeping certain wrestlers like, okay, this is where the tag team ones are going to be. This is where the trios are going to be. This is where the Continental, the International, FTW, and then, man, dude, I sound like I'm giving out bonus stars like fucking Mario Party here, man. Oh, shit. It's like, but I feel like doing that would actually help them because they got so many fucking belts. You got such a giant roster of badass performers
Hmm.
that they could all shine in their own way. It's like you don't need. Orange Cassidy on every four shows. You don't need the fucking Young Bucks to be the main face on the cards. You know, it's like split everybody up. Like nobody on the show needs to be a fucking double champion. You know. Oh, it'll be the fifth show. I'm sorry because there's Ring of Honor,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
it's like but it's like Ring of Honor is fucking purgatory, right? It's like either you get to set to AEW or get fired or get released, and it's like no matter who wins, y'all lose.
Oh
It's
Tony. Oh Tony.
yeah, it's like, and I don't want to talk like in a negative light on this, but I just want them to be successful. But it's like their business practices and like the stuff they're doing, it just doesn't make sense.
No, and that's why with this idea, I think it's going to be like a reality show and not just another wrestling show. If Fox were to like consider it, or even Tubi, you know,
Hmm.
that's just my idea.
Yeah, hopefully it is something different like that, man. Because another wrestling show where it's just like everyone's just thrown in there just because it's gonna be a little overwhelming.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's not good. It's not great. It's not great. No.
Is that great? Doing 81,000 at Tokyo Dome.
Next year on the news, from WrestleOps, there are rumblings that Def Rebel's contract with WWE will not be renewed upon expiration. WWE is using mainstream artists. WWE using mainstream artists is expected to be the norm going forward. What do you think about this? This is a good thing.
It's 100% a good thing, dude. Def Rebel fucking sucks.
Who is Def Rebel? I always hear that. Is it a band, or is it a person, or is it a
um,
production company?
I think it's just a production company. Let me look it up real quick.
Yeah.
But um, so for context, Def Rebel, they're responsible for creating the music for the WWE wrestlers. And those are all the shit ones that you hear today.
Yeah.
Um Def Rebel, let me see. Why is this band? Let me see. Is it gonna tell me anything? Is it gonna tell me anything?
Cause that's where, like, I've seen like the memes and stuff like that. Well, if Def Rebel made this song or this song, and I was I understand it, and I understand the hate. I just don't know if that's like one person or a production company or an actual band. Because you had like the dude who made all the songs like during the Attitude Era, which was just like a dude with one name, right? And he
Yeah, that was
was like, I forget his name, but he was the shit. He was like badass because he just made. He was like, "Oh yeah, let me make Stone Cold's theme song or whatever. Or let me make Bret Hart's, or just like nothing.
oh dude, Jim Johnston. That's his
Yeah,
name, Jim Johnston. Dude, he made so many badass themes, man. And then it got to a point. I don't know if you remember, um, that a lot of the performers got like licensed music. Do you remember that?
yeah. I would say I don't know. I don't even know if it's at the point where like Limp Bizkit came in, or Kid Rock, or
Yes, yes, you're right. Limp
you know.
Bizkit because it was rolling for Undertaker.
Hmm.
Um, the Dudley Boys. I don't. I might be wrong with the group. I want to say it was Static X. Like, get up, drop the bombshell, get up. This is out of control. I don't know. I think it's Static X,
I
but
believe that.
that was for the Dudleys. Edge had Rob Zombie. I know that Stone Cold had Disturbed for a little bit. I don't know if you remember that.
Dude, I don't. I don't
You
remember that.
don't really
No.
American Psycho. Nope. Oh man, dude, I'm getting chills, dude. It's throwing me back. And then obviously, like Batista um, had Saliva. That was a big one of the bigger ones, you know.
Triple H had fucking Motorhead.
Oh,
Well,
dude,
he
man.
had them. He had Motorhead write him his own theme song, right?
Yeah,
Because
dude, that's fucking crazy.
that's cool too. That's like a whole different thing as well. When it's like not even just getting a band song like "Rollin'" from Limp Bizkit off of their album, but
Hmm.
having the band write you a fucking song for your
Dude,
entrance. You know?
every time I picture that fucking that video of a young Randy Orton, he's like, yeah, it's Hunter, he's pretty close with Lemmy. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I
No.
don't.
He just does it. So, yeah, Hunter and Lemmy, like they're pretty close together. Like they're friends. Yeah, Lemmy. Ha 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 ha. Dude, it's like a young Randy Orton, like when he first started up. Randy Orton, yeah, Lemmy. Hopefully you can find it, dude. Yes.
Lemmy's cool. Ah.
All right.
Ah.
Dude, man, it's like every time I see that, it fucking cracks me up. Um, yeah, so it was Jim Johnson for a long time, and then he retired. I don't know who it was, but then NXT had CFO dollar sign and or CFOS. They made the themes for like Undisputed Era, Johnny Gargano, Keith Lee. Keith Lee has one of the best fucking theme songs like in NXT history. It goes hard. Um, that CFO dollar sign, they're the one responsible for making Nakamura's theme.
Hmm.
Yes, and it's like you know how iconic that shit is. It
Oh
goes
yeah,
hard. It's so
yeah.
good.
Oh, it's so good.
A reason why everyone hates Def Rebel is because every song it just sounds generic and it sounds the same. It's I want to say who was it? I think it was like Liv Morgan's song and Bailey's song. They almost sound identical. A lot of these songs they sound identical to other wrestlers. The only way you can tell who it is unless you look at the screen, because no one pops for the music unless it's Roman Reigns or Rhea Ripley. But Rhea Ripley, she's different because she has Motionless in White to
Mhm.
make her music. Um, so the one thing that Def Rebel ended up doing it's that they put sayings at the beginning of the songs that like wrestlers say in like their shit. So it's like before a song goes off, it's Tiffy time. Before a song goes off, watch me. Or like it will say like their catchphrase and then go like play the song. We're like, ooh, so's. And it's like, man, dude, like why is this for every fucking song, dude? It's like I'm not excited like these songs fucking suck. They changed Braun Breaker's song recently, and that shit upset me because he had a pretty hard song too. And then now it just sounds like just generic as fuck, and it's just lost in the mix. So legit, I was at Victory Road last night, and I saw this, and I showed my friend Paul. I was like, "Bro, read this," and then he goes, "Fucking finally!" I was like, "Dude, I know, like they're gonna do something different." And I don't know if we're gonna talk about it, but I can talk about it now. That they had a new theme song for SmackDown that's gonna be running for a few years. I don't know if you had that in your notes.
No, I remember seeing it though. That is something. It was like a major artist, but I can't remember. It was like a rapper, right? Like a girl rapper.
Yeah, it's I don't know the name of the song, but it's a newer song, but it's with Megan Thee Stallion and RM from BTS.
Oh,
Um,
SmackDown.
yeah, SmackDown theme, and it's a new one that they just came out
Megan
with.
Thee
Oh,
Stallion featuring RM, BTS. Never play.
yes, it just came out recently, like fuck, not that long ago, like within the
Yeah,
past couple
pretty
of weeks.
recently. Yeah, I
And
remember reading about that.
it's crazy that it's Megan Thee Stallion too, dude. Like Megan Thee Stallion, she could fuck up my life, and I would apologize. I'm just throwing that out there. But man, it's like I'm seeing it. It cracks me up. I know I'm talking too long, and I apologize.
No,
That
no, she's a
a lot of
stallion. I get it.
yeah, a lot of a lot of people are making edits of it's like, oh, like what if this wrestler used this song? What if this wrestler used this song? And it sounds like pretty good. Like I know someone made an edit of LA Knight coming out to Yeah by Usher, Ludacris, and Lil Jon. And then
Hell
everyone's just like,
yeah.
ah.
Well, they have the money now. Like, well, not that they didn't have the money before WWE, but they have that TKO money, so they could pay. To fucking. I know they've been doing a lot of that. And I don't know if they did it a lot before. I don't remember where they'd have official songs for pay per views.
Hmm.
And I guess they would do it every now and then, but it seems like they're doing it more and more again.
Yeah, and it's like back then, like they would have a theme song for every fucking pay per view. And it's funny because I was making like a different playlist on my Spotify, and it's like, man, dude, a lot of my rock playlist, it's like a lot of butt rock, a lot of Chevelle and Disturbed, A7X, and I'm just like, man, dude, I want more variety. So I looked up all the official theme songs from like past like pay per views, and I added those like to my playlist. And I'm just like, oh my god, now it's nothing but Saliva and Limp Bizkit. Oh, jeez.
That's what was hot back then, man. Now, what's hot is like very it's variable. You had what Jelly Roll, who's country. You had
Hmm.
rap. It just depends on like wherever city they're in. Is what the theme song will be.
Yeah, man. I'm excited with where this goes. I'm like, I hope. I wonder when it's gonna happen. Maybe into the new year that it's gonna change. Like once they go to Netflix, that'd be cool to hear like a major, like popular song played on the radio, like used for a wrestler's theme, or like an old school like rock song, or like a crunk hip hop song. I don't know. It's like the it's endless. Like the opportunities or
Yeah,
the matchups are gonna be endless. You know.
and there's like an appeal to everyone. You know what I mean? Because not every wrestling fan is into rock music, like how it seemed like in the Attitude Era. That's all it was like
Yeah.
rock music, or like rappers put into rock music. But now it's like country or hip hop, female rap, and
K-pop.
there's so much more variety now. Oh, baby metal. You just had baby metal.
Oh
Fucking
yes, yes. That
that,
at No Mercy, I think, right? Oh wait,
yeah.
no, no, no.
No, it
Uh,
just happened. Whatever.
Bash of Berlin, Bash of Berlin,
Yeah, that was like, what the fuck? Who the fuck's into baby metal? Like
dude.
I know baby metal. I like that one. I like that one or two songs they do, but
Mhm.
that's unique where it's like, oh man, what the fuck? Like that's cool.
Before we continue on with the story, what songs is it by Baby Metal?
Just give me chocolate and yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I know there's another song they do, but that one's like on my playlist.
Is it
That one.
like I think the one I know it's like make it sooner. It's like an old one I heard like when I first heard Baby Metal. I seen it once before live. They put on a fucking badass show.
They
It was
seem
great.
pretty badass from the live shows I've seen on the internet.
Oh
But
dude, yeah, they fucking kick ass. Um Fuck, where were we going with all this?
oh,
We
I
were
don't
talking
know.
yeah, so we were talking about how like recently it was like Baby Metal,
Mhm.
and it was crazy to think like I know it's a bad comparison, but it's making me think of like fuck, they're going back to like NXT Gold days, like because all the takeovers they had, they like, oh, we like to thank this band for being the official song for Takeover Brooklyn, Takeover San Antonio, because it was like a lot of bands like I listened to in high school, which was like, oh my god, excuse me, which was like a day to remember. Like they sponsored. I mean, they had a song play. Ghosted. Metallica had one. Motionless in White. I forgot some other hard. Oh, like this one hardcore band I listened to called Power Trip. Like they had a song played on there that blew my fucking mind. It's like I never thought I heard like hardcore thrash metal being played on a wrestling show. Like that. That was
uh,
like mind blowing to me. My high school self was just like, oh my god, oh my god.
That'd
But the one thing I fight for is that Bailey gets a song by Paramore. That's all I want.
be pretty tight.
I know. I love Paramore so much, man.
Paramore's good. I do.
Hell
I do
yes.
enjoy Paramore.
Yes.
No, uh, no. That I mean, that's cool. That then the Death Rebels contract's coming up. I hope they're fine in their future endeavors, whatever they may be. I
Future endeavors. Beep, beep, beep,
hope so.
beep.
He's
Beep,
gonna
beep, beep,
puke.
beep. He's gonna puke.
Come on out, you rapist. No.
Oh wow.
Next year on the news, the top 10 for this year's PWI 500, and this is from WrestleOps. We'll see if we'll just go down the list here. Number one, Cody Rhodes.
Nice.
Number two, Swerve Strickland. That's nice.
Nice.
Number three, Will Ospreay. That's nice. Number four, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins.
Something relative.
Number five, Tetsuya Naito.
Nice.
Uh,
That's interesting. Okay.
Number six, Damian Priest.
Nice. Nice.
Number seven, MJF.
Okay.
Number eight, John Moxley.
Okay.
Number nine, Gunther.
Okay.
I don't know why his name's in all caps, as if it's a acronym. Uh, Number 10, Mystico.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean,
I wanna.
I don't not agree with this list. I mean, maybe I don't know about Seth Rollins. I want to rate him less, but he's actually like always there. He's like just a good worker, you know? Like he
Oh
always
no.
is ready to
Yeah.
work.
He's a hard worker.
Yeah.
Um. So I'm.
He reminds me of that employee that like will get it done and like you rely on him even though he's like maybe not the boss or up there. It's like,
Mhm.
nah, I like this guy's a badass guy to have on my team, because he'll
Oh
do what
yeah.
he needs to do.
Mhm. Too bad I don't know anybody like that in real life.
I
Um.
used
So.
to years
So
ago.
with the do you have a name?
Oh, I can't remember.
Oh,
I've had
okay. Okay.
a few.
Nah, I'm just talking about my ass. There's probably someone I work with now that's like that. But I'm thinking about like when we worked together. I was like, I don't know anybody else, man. Everyone kind of sucks.
I'm trying. I can't really remember
Um,
off the
like
top of my head.
I'm looking up. So who votes for the PWI 500? Because I remember for the longest fucking time, I thought this was run by Meltzer, the Pro Wrestling Illustrated, like the magazines.
I
But
think he sends out letters to different people and they nominate, right? I think.
mhm. So it turns out Meltzer only does the Wrestling Observer newsletter, which
Hmm.
is something totally different. So the thing I'm looking up right now is who votes in the PWI 500, and then the response that I got is. Additionally, readers are given the ability to vote for the winners of the year-end awards, with ballots being included in special year-end issues. A special PWI awards magazine is issued annually, which reveals winners and the number of votes counted. Let me see if someone. I am looking up the PWI 500 for this year, and ooh, okay, interesting. Um,
There's
it
a bunch of
has
migrants, brought in from the Haitian. I don't know.
Richard's on this list, huh? Um, do you want to hear the next, like the 11 through 20?
Yeah, sure. You got him
Okay,
there.
yeah. So it is correct. You know, Cody Rhodes for Strickland, whatever. Number 10 is Mystico. 11, Samoa Joe.
Okay.
12, Sami Zayn.
Okay.
13, Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
14, Brian Danielson. 15,
Where's CM Punk? Is he coming up?
hold on, let me see. I'm telling you now,
15.
he's not in the top 20.
That's crazy.
Uh, Brian Danielson's number 14. 15
All
is
right.
Moose.
Mm,
Uh, 16 is Sonata. 17, Jay Uso.
eh.
18, El Hijo del Vikingo.
Uh huh.
19, Mustafa Ali. And number
Eh.
20, Eddie Kingston.
All right, I think CM Punk should be at least in the top 20. Eddie Kingston, yeah, I don't think he should be there.
You know
I'm
what? You know
sorry.
what upsets me? You know who's number 21? Kashutsuka Okada.
No, he should be at least 11. If not,
Yeah, yeah,
like, no shit to Damian Priest, but he should probably be around there. Like, Damian Priest is good though, but I would have probably
yeah.
switched places with. Yeah, I don't know.
I think I understand why Damian Priest is in the top 10 because he has had like a killer year and he has been putting on good matches.
Yeah,
Um,
I do agree with that.
Let me see. Where the fuck? Shit. I'm trying to see. Joe Hendry is 51, but it's like Braun Breaker is 52. I feel like Braun Breaker should have been higher than Joe Hendry. Well, then again, I don't know. Like I feel like Joe
Uh,
Hendry has more of an impact like on the wrestling community.
I mean, when you think of it in the terms of like a list of 500, it's I don't know. I think they should have left it at like 20 and that's it. I don't know about hey everyone pick your favorite 500 wrestlers, and sort them out. Like that's kind of I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. Ugh. I'm sorry, my stomach started hurting because Chris Jericho's number 90. I wouldn't even put him in the top 100, man. Like that's
I
being
even think
generous.
I thought I had seen, and I was looking at an article. I thought I'd seen where that dude from the chocolate chip chocolate cookie chunk that when he used to be a wrestler, he was one of the like in the 300s of the PWI.
Wait,
The
who's
dude,
that?
the one that was like, "You get the boom or the doom," and they were there at the
Oh
AEW.
man. Oh god, he was on there.
That's what I thought I had seen. I was looking for it to look up with this article, but it could have been like faked. But I was like, what was he number like 300 or something? Get the chocolate cookie chunk. The boom or the doom.
Boo!
He gets the boom.
Dude, I didn't know about the Costco guys, Costco boys,
Costco guys.
Costco guys. I didn't know about them until last week when we were talking about them.
Yeah,
And all this whole fucking week, I kept on quoting, "It gets the boo," and I
dude.
hated myself.
That reminds me. POD did a Rey Mysterio song, right? Booyaka booyaka 619.
That was
Booyaka
POD.
booyaka. I think that's POD.
Rey Mysterio, booyaka booyaka, six
I'm
one
pretty sure
nine.
that's POD.
Okay, that's
POD.
cursed. It says Bobby Lashley is 197.
Yeah, POD. Booyaka
Wow.
619.
That's
Yeah,
crazy, dude. POD's fucking badass.
yeah, that was
Dude,
POD. I remember that because I remember thinking like, are they a Christian band? That's what I kept like thinking when they came out
yeah, I would think the same thing too. Like thinking they were a fucking Christian band.
because it's
Uh
payable on death. They're the acronym POD.
is that what it means?
Yeah, that's what it means. And then they have songs like "I feel so alive for
For
the
the
very
very first
first
time.
time. I can't deny it. Feel so alive."
Mm.
Booyaka booyaka.
I'm trying to see. I don't see fucking uh how do you say CM Punk anywhere?
That's terrible. This list is bullshit. I mean, the top 10. Just seeing this here, it's. I agree with it. I don't know really who that Tetsuya Naito is. I'm guessing
Uh-huh.
he's New Japan or something.
Yeah, he is New Japan, yeah.
So I don't know him, but I mean, I agree with all this. Other than, I don't know. Maybe John Moxley being there. Maybe
Uh-huh.
he should be traded with one of the top 20. But this top ten's pretty solid to me.
Let's see. I am looking at the top 10 from last year. You want to see how much it's changed?
Yeah, that's gonna be ridiculous.
Okay. Number 10. We'll start from 10 to 1. 10, Cody Rhodes.
Okay, wow,
Number 9, Josh Alexander.
I agree with that. He was
This
pretty
one
good.
you're gonna hate this one. You ready? Number 8, Orange Cassidy.
Oh yeah, no, I knew that was coming up. Of course, he's number 8. He was the hottest thing then. He was
Dude,
every opening match.
number 7, Kazuchika Okada. Uh,
Hmm.
number 6, MJF. Number 5, El Hijo de Vikingo.
Hmm.
Number 4, Gunther. Uh, number 3, John Moxley. Number 2, Roman Reigns. And number 1 is Seth Rollins.
That's pretty interesting that he was
That is
number one.
interesting. Now for 2022, I'm just kidding. Just keep on going each year, each year.
I mean, I guess women don't exist, so that's cool. But
Uh, what is women? I don't know, man, dude.
no. Where's
It's.
Bailey? Where's Bailey? That's all I want to see.
I think they have a separate one for women.
Oh well, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Women
because
are.
I think either last year or the year before, I remember Becky Lynch was number 1.
Mm.
I'm trying to think who else was on there. I'm just like kind of going like year and year. Like, dude, these change up crazy. I'm not gonna go through the whole list, but like in 2022, Big E was in the top 10 at number 9.
That makes sense. He deserves the love. He still does, I think.
uh, and CM Punk was number 3. Adam Page is number 4. Bobby Lashley was number 5.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
again, now this all makes sense for when that year was going on, and they were like the hottest
Mm,
thing at the moment.
yeah, man. Crazy, crazy. Hmm, I think I agree with the top 3, honestly.
Yeah, I agree with it. I think Swerve Strickland. I mean, yeah, if Cody Rhodes wasn't there, I'd want him. But that's pretty good. And Will Ospreay, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I agree with it. I agree with it.
I rate this 5 stars.
Do I have the picture?
Dang, don't do that.
Yeah. Next year on the news from WrestleOps, we have the first official poster for Survivor Series. This is in Vancouver, Saturday, November 30th. That's
Nice, nice.
that's in what, a month and a half? That's pretty long away. Long ways away.
Dang, that's okay. Hold on. Okay, no. I thought that was gonna be the next pay per view, but I was like, wait, no, they're having Bad Blood next.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah, Bad Blood is gonna be still almost like 2 months away because I think Bad Blood's in a couple weeks on October 5th. I want to say.
Let me magnify. They just have him pointing at the Twin Towers just being destroyed.
So acknowledge me.
Those are
So
the twins, the Usos, the Twin Towers
Jimmy and
failing.
Jay. So this is what I'm gonna do to them at Survivor Series. Oh man.
I'm just
Who's on
wondering
the
where Bailey's at. Bailey is never on these fucking posters, dude. They just hate Bailey.
man? I just want I need me some Bailey, dude. That's what I need. I need me some fucking Bailey.
Yeah, Bailey is and I don't know where it came out of nowhere for me because I always thought Bailey had like a baby face, like a,
Hmm.
a legit baby face, not a baby
Oh,
face, but like a chubby, chunky baby face where it was like,
uh-huh.
she's not all that, but
Oh no,
uh,
dude. I always thought ever
no,
since.
somewhere it just like clicked on me where I'm like, oh my god, she's fucking gorgeous. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
nah, dude. Bailey's great, man. She is fantastic. Um, so with this pay per view, I don't know if you heard the day that they sold or that they started releasing tickets like for purchase, they sold over 15,000 like opening day that they started
damn,
releasing tickets, and the venue holds 17,000.
damn.
Yeah, dude, they're almost sold out already. Like no matches announced. Like just like, oh yeah, releasing tickets, and they fucking ate that shit up.
It's because they put Kevin Owens on the poster in the way back, and they're like, "Oi, that's one of ours, eh?" And I
Yeah,
get
I
it.
know they should switch Cody and Kevin. Nah, maybe Roman should have been where Kevin's at. I don't know.
Yeah, that would make a little more sense because Solo Sikoa's back there, or at least put Solo where Kevin Owens is at, or something. I don't know.
So let me ask you, how do you feel about Survivor Series being like a War Games theme every year now?
I'm not really into war games. That's
No.
just me. No, I never really cared for that match. Um, like if I had to go into like a gimmick match, I'd say I really like the Royal Rumble, but everyone does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like a staple that's great, and it's always kind of been here in San Antonio, even though it's not anymore. But it's like been here like so many times already.
hmm
But I don't know. I really don't like the war game setup of how it's the one where like you have to wait till everyone's in the ring, right, and then they start the match.
Yes. Yep.
I don't know. That just seems that throws me out of the reality. Like, why wouldn't you just pin the first dude or whatever, like, or
hmm
beat the shit out of him when there's 2-on-1. I don't know. It just I've never liked the format. It throws me out of it.
It's I do enjoy it. When NXT brought it back, they that was like one of the best matches to look forward to. Uh, I think that's where some of the best War Games matches have been in NXT.
Hmm.
Like, well, since they brought it to the main roster, I do think it's mainly been like story based and like violence based. Because I'm trying to think, when they fought the Judgment Day, right? When the Judgment Day fought last year, that was when CM Punk showed up and Randy Orton returned. Like that one was
Hmm.
fucking good. That one was really
Yeah.
great. Um, but I don't think there's been like a bad War Games match ever since its existence. Like even the ones from like the 80s and 90s, like some of those have been like pretty good for the most part. Uh, but it kind of reminds me of like 2010s era where like, oh, like a gimmick match needed its own pay-per-view, like Hell in a Cell, Fatal 4-Way, Extreme Rules. Like it, for some reason that needed to be a thing for like every fucking pay-per-view, and that kind of got redundant and tiring real fast. I kind of wish Survivor Series was just Survivor Series, to where it's like the champions of each brand just fought each other, and like whoever won got like some incentive out of it. But whenever need be, then they could do like a War Games match where it's like every couple of years or so, kind of like Elimination Chamber. But I think Elimination Chamber, like that's still like a gimmick match.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. That's my personal take on it.
I still prefer the old Survivor Series matches where it was like red versus blue, and
hmm
they had to like despite their differences like choose a team and come together, and there was always like that hostility of, well, are we going to be able to be teams in the ring, or can we put aside our differences? And
It's
there
like,
was
can
always
we
like that.
coexist?
Yeah. That was always fun to see. And then the teams had, like I said, the red and the blue, the SmackDown and the Raw. So I always
hmm
liked that one. It was like what, 5-on-5 or 6-on-6.
Usually it was 5-on-5.
Yeah. No,
hmm
so I preferred that too, but
Yeah, it is what it is, man. But I mean, good for them for almost selling out already for the first day.
no, yeah, that's pretty amazing considering there's a whole other pay per view before that, and then yeah, you sell, you have 17,000, and then the first day you sell 15,000. It's just like, god
hmm
damn, shit.
Dude, shit's fucking crazy. Golly. Well, hopefully War Games is good this year. I'm excited for it. But I
Oh
think
yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like a bloodline thing. Like Roman and his team versus Solo and his team.
and 3:30 Pacific for Pacific time, so that's 5:30 Central.
I'm gonna say so. Yeah, but I want to say, but maybe like the pre-show is gonna be like an hour and a half, and it starts at 7, like for us.
So it's 2 hours ahead. So yeah, it would be 5:30 then for us, I think.
Yeah, it should be a fucking hour and a half pre-show from the way they're doing it.
Oh yeah, with all the talking and stuff like that they do.
Yeah, yeah.
Hell yeah. Speaking of talking, next year on the news, Mercedes Monet shared mixed emotions on extreme violence in wrestling. All Out was extremely violent, and honestly, Daniel Bryan's stuff was was tough to watch. I have mixed emotions. When done right, that kind of stuff can tear a roof off like Daniels did. However, I wouldn't want my brother Joshua to watch stuff like that, or kids for that matter. Let's face it, wrestling is multi generational. When I do signings, I greet so many parents and the children. Growing up, I didn't have a father, so it especially warms my heart to meet families and hear how much their wrestling viewing experiences and memories mean to them. Then again, there's an audience that loves the extreme, and you want to cater to them too. Via Mercedes Monet Mag. What do you think about her saying this in her to her own company?
Nah, it's a. I feel like it's a genuine, like a general like concern. You
hmm
know, like it's kind of hard to try to get the casual audience's attention because I mean everyone's different. You don't know like what certain people like, but I feel like with AEW in general, they pertain more to like a hardcore audience. And I think they even mentioned that before. They pertain to the hardcore audience, like the hardcore wrestling fan. You know,
hmm
like when AEW first started, like let me tell you, dude, I was about it. Like I was 100% in. Like they couldn't do no wrong. And this is like 2019 WWE, like I mentioned before. So like there, it was kind of ass. So I'm just like, man, dude, I just want like good wrestling, and I got that good wrestling from AEW. But now I feel like they're just doing moments to get a reaction. You know,
Yeah,
we talk about All Out. Like there was the suffocation spot with the bag that
yeah.
was just like super left field. It's like I feel like you could have done the job just fine if you just choked him out, like rear naked
Mhm.
choke. You know, like he's already caught off guard. Get him in a rear naked choke. Like you got the full grasp on him. He ain't going nowhere. And in the next match, you had that syringe spot and the unprotected chair shot to the head, and it just left like a real ugly feeling in my mouth. Me and you, we talk about it a lot. I don't know what your view is on it, but I don't care for death matches. I think they're trash.
hmm
And I understand like there is like an audience that does love death matches, but it's like if you want to go watch a death match, go watch fucking GCW. Go watch Game Changing Wrestling. Or if you want to watch good wrestling, like I would say AEW, like they put on great matches. Like the match with every Will Ospreay match that he does, like it's always going to be a good match. Danielson always puts on a good match in general too, and it's like it's hard to like build up an audience when it's just a mixed bag of everything. But it's just like you literally don't know what you're gonna get as far as like WWE. You're gonna get the entertainment aspect of it. TNA, you're gonna get the actual like wrestling and like the workhorse aspect of it. Like what you're gonna get with those two companies. CMLL, like you're gonna get the luchadors, like high flying and stuff like that. But everything else, like with AEW, that's the one like they're still trying to find like their specific like identity. When they say, "Oh, we're pertaining to the hardcore fans," but it's like, yeah, but there's hardcore fans of each different genre of wrestling. You have hardcore fans that like the entertainment aspect, like the whole Bloodline storyline. You have fans that enjoy the actual wrestling aspect of it. So it's like the Will Ospreay and Pac match, or Swerve Strickland and Danielson match that they just had it all in. Maybe like this CMLL match, like like Mystico, Vikingo, like just they're fucking amazing at their stuff. Commander, and it's just you're gonna turn a lot of people off if you're gonna keep jumping from one thing to another, and it's like you're not gonna be able to retain that base in your audience if you're going to keep doing that.
Well, no, it's tricky. Like I could say like I don't mind having a variety of matches in a pay per view or in a regular showing, like a SmackDown or whatever, where you have, yeah, like the old school WCW, you have like a luchador match, and then maybe a hardcore match, and then maybe whatever tag team match, So I don't mind a variety, but there's something about death matches that are so polarizing where it's like, okay, maybe this doesn't need to be there's a reason it doesn't need to be shown on this it's could alienate a lot more people than actually bring in new fans or cater to the ones that are already there, because most of the AEW fans I feel like aren't there to expect death matches. You know what I mean? Like they're
Hmm.
there to watch their favorite wrestlers or whatever, do whatever. If you're going to like a death match promotion, of course you're there to see a death match. But
Hmm.
you're going to AEW, you're there to see like, this specific talent or this or that. You're not there like, I don't know why they're catering to the deathmatch crew or the deathmatch scene if that isn't really their demographic, like
Hmm.
I feel like it, like how she's saying, that's not something I really want to show, so it alienates more people than it actually does have people say, that's why I came to AEW, because or came to watch an AEW thing for a death match. Like I don't think people go there for that, even
Hmm.
though they go down so many times there, but they've already kind of, AEW shot themselves in the foot doing these matches because they feel like they need to do them more and more, and then to even more of a degree of extreme each time.
Hmm. And it's AW. They're walking like a really tight rope with like the product that they're trying to produce, because especially like how we just talked about, like their Fox deal, you gotta be more. You gotta pull back on those type of matches
Hmm.
because it's. I mean, yeah, like WWE does like like hardcore matches or street fights, but those are like very tame compared to thumbtacks. You
Hmm.
know, like save that shit for like a pay per view, but it's like they're doing it on like their regular shows sometimes. I mean, they have their blood and guts pay per view or like their big match like on a regular Dynamite, and it's like that's one of the more violent matches that they're like that they can do on regular TV. The one example I think of, it's like when they had like that death match between Chris Jericho and Nick Cage. Remember with the pizza cutter?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Domino's got mad and they pulled off as a sponsor, like for
Hmm.
AEW. And I totally get it. That's violent. I don't want to see that shit. It makes me think like, huh, I want some pizza. Like, it's like you got to pertain to like a certain audience, and you got to be very careful with the stuff you're trying to produce, because if you're trying to pertain to a certain audience, uh if you're trying to pertain to a certain audience, it's going to be hard for you to build that up with that type of repertoire.
Hmm.
If you try to, like, I'm all for like having like variety, but it's like be consistent with it. Like announce it for like the next pay-per-view, so that way you could do that violent shit on a pay-per-view. You don't have to do these crazy spots like on a regular Dynamite or a regular Rampage. None of that shit has to be overdone like that. And like you said, like there's like I don't know, if I had kids watching wrestling, I wouldn't want to show them like a death match or anything, because it's like,
Hmm.
oh, like don't try this at home. It's like, well, fucking obviously, I don't want my kids to get cut open with knives and stuff, like try to stab each other. It's like,
Stuff that's like lying around the house, it's not like a table, or yeah, you have tables at the house, but like, you know what I mean, there's no kendo sticks around here or something, I don't know.
yeah, and it's like, at least with like, you see chair shots, but it's like I'm not gonna grab a real chair and hit my brother with it. I'm gonna use a pillow. Like I got my pillow right there. I will sell it. Or it's like, we'll do like the regular moves to each other, like jump off the counters, whatever, blah blah, because that's what kids do. But it's like I don't want my kids to be using Legos and then slamming each other on it and like hurting themselves, and then like it's just like a concern for like the kids watching. And
Mhm.
I totally understand where Mercedes is coming from, and it's like, oh, like it's just a general concern. Like you want it to build up and be best for AEW, but you also want to be like, it doesn't have to be this way. Like with All Out, how they had the bag spot, and then the syringe spot. Like it just seemed overly unnecessary to do those one after the other. Like you
Hmm.
don't have to do the syringe spot, man. I think they just did the shock factor just to get that spot, or just to get people talking and get people to view in. But it's like, why are you gonna do that for like a 15 minutes of fame? You know, I love Swerve Strickland. Like, don't get me wrong, it's nothing against him. Like, even if he doesn't do like these types of matches, like steel cages, street fights, whatever, like he's just a badass performer. Like, just stick with the wrestling aspect of it. You know?
Hmm. 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 No, let the talent speak for itself, and you don't need to uh put gimmicks on gimmicks on gimmicks just to put yourself over.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
I have here a clip of Jim Cornette talking about AEW. Let's.
Was these fucking never been fucked, virgin, neck bearded, basement dwelling, video game playing, wrestling indie outlaw fucking nerds think it's a show of toughness if you let somebody shoot you in the titty with a staple gun and laugh at them. No, it's an example of stupid. You're a stupid, stupid, stupid person, is what you are.
So yeah, that's Jim Cornette talking about the mud show that he calls AEW, and the hardcore, more than hardcore, the death
Mhm.
match stuff going on there.
After hearing this audio, hearing the audio, I don't think he liked it.
No, it's pretty clear that AEW's trying to, like we said, cater to a specific audience, and it's not thinking about that bigger picture of the bigger audience of like,
Hmm.
okay, like there's kids here, there's adults who have kids, there's I don't know, anyone else that might not like seeing all this blood or all this guts or whatever the fuck, like
Nice, nice.
they just came to see wrestling, talent
Hmm.
and athleticism, and I don't know, butts. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, you could have hardcore matches, but you don't have to where it's like you need to fucking kill the guy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then that too, like if you do that and then he shows up the next week fine, it's like, what the hell was the point of that? You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
all he has is maybe like a little scar here or something, like from almost dying.
Yeah, man, and it's just overly unnecessary. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, like, I guess it's a shock value of like getting stapled. I mean, I wouldn't want to fucking get stapled, but it's like, really, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say because it's like I love Swerve, but I just hate death matches, man. I really
Yeah.
do.
No, it's they're not. I don't know. They have their. I get they have their audience, they have their specific place, but I don't think it should be an AEW. And if it is, they need to be seldom, and they need to have a bigger impact than just having one and then the next, that coming Monday the two people are fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
nothing happened. Um, Going on to some more AEW, but some WWE news. On a recent edition of the Busted Open Radio podcast, Thunder Rosa said WWE misstepped by not making Julia familiar to the audience. I think that's how you say her name, right? Julia?
yeah. Julia, yes.
Why the fuck are you going to introduce somebody with so much hype with nothing? No story, no video package, nothing. Also, this woman, the way that she presented herself in stardom, she presented herself as a superstar. You introduce her, and it's freaking PPV, PLE, whatever they call it now, in a very basic way and a little bit watered down. That's not Julia. Julia is a superstar. You've got to introduce her properly because she's about to go on the top of the food chain. She's not going for a girl that's just starting and beating her ass. No, she's going for a championship, and this is something companies need to do with people coming in that have a big hype. Give them a big fucking video package explaining the story of this person and why she has so much hype and why she is so good for the company and why she's being signed and why instead of going for something else, she's going for the fucking championship. Explain that because if not, you're doing a disservice to the person that's coming in. So what do you think about Thunder Rosa's comments about Julia being introduced?
Oh, she's in front of the courthouse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a courthouse
Huh.
downtown. Yeah. Okay, next story. Uh,
No,
um,
yeah, no, I think she's got a point, but I mean, again, this is her being a part of AEW, and AEW does bullshit too. Like when they introduced Ricochet during a fucking wild card, whatever, that he ended up losing. Like, okay,
yeah, it's hypocritical. It's
yeah, it really is.
but it's like everything she's saying too. It's like WWE, NXT, they're doing everything that you're complaining about. Like they did do a video package. They did talk about her signing. It's like NXT does that with every signing. It's like they have a takeover, and whoever they just signed, they're sitting in the crowd and like showing off whatever.
Mhm.
And they announced how she left Stardom. She's coming to WWE, and they have her going for the fucking championship. It's like, what are you talking about? I don't know. I really don't know what she's talking about.
I think she's self projecting on herself. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
she's saying this about Julia and the WWE, but she actually means it to Tony Khan and AEW and
Hmm.
the rep. You know what I mean? She's saying it, but
Yeah.
she means it like no. I'm talking about you, Tony. This is to you, but I'm gonna
Hmm.
bitch about a WWE, and that's why people are probably like you just said. What WWE doesn't do that? Only AEW. Oh, like, oh no, oh
Oh,
no,
oh no, oh no.
oh no.
Yeah, but I agree with you, man. This is all just projecting. It's
Yeah.
everything she's complaining about. It's like WWE have been doing that, and
Hmm.
she debuted at No Mercy, and dude, like people are fucking hot. Like they're ready for Julia to kick some ass. I'm ready for her to kick some ass, man. Like she's gonna do great.
I'm ready to see some ass. Nah.
Yes. Woo woo.
Speaking of uh being horny, no, Cultaholic Wrestling, WWE is said to be quote extremely horny to sign Daniel Garcia. Triple H reportedly believes that Daniel Garcia is the next great technical wrestler with comparisons to Roderick Strong and Bryan Danielson. I was like, is this really from Cultaholic? And I'm like, yeah, I think it is. What do you think about WWE is that saying to be extremely horny to sign Daniel Garcia?
Dude, sure. Like okay, that's weird to say that. Like what a comparison to Danielson and Roderick Strong, man.
AEW talent? I know.
Mhm.
No, I don't know. I like Daniel Garcia. I wouldn't say
Oh
I'm
no.
extremely horny for him, but I do really like his. I'm all about him. Yeah.
Oh no, yeah. Garcia's fucking awesome. Uh he is a great wrestler, great technical
Mm.
wrestler. It's good that he's getting the recognition that he deserves because he totally deserves it. Like outside of like the air thrusting gimmick, like that's funny. It's like, I don't have a problem with
Oh
that.
yeah, it's funny.
Oh man, but I mean to see like where he goes, maybe I'm interested because I know he's trying to do, or he wrote no, they wrote off MJF in their last match.
Hmm.
I remember that. Do you remember that he did the pile driver from like the second rope?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's
yeah.
yeah. So I'm wondering what's gonna happen with Garcia next. I'm not too sure. It'd be great to see him in WWE, maybe like NXT, just like be a good technical wrestler there, be champion. A man can dream. A man can dream.
Hell yeah. No, and speaking of other chances of signing, uh Matt Riddle thinks chances of a WWE return are extremely high, which is an interview with Smil Halson Jr. via Sports Illustrated. I think he's extremely high, thinking that
Yeah,
he.
I was gonna say that shit too.
I don't think he's coming back. I don't know. What about what do you think is it because of Seth Rollins' son or
Seth
I
and
don't know.
Rollins are good. Anarchy. I I don't think he's coming back to WWE. He shot
Nah.
himself in the own foot, man. I mean, wherever he goes, best of luck on your future endeavors. Like that's all I can really say, man. Because he did all that shit himself. He doesn't know like when to shut up, and it kind of like bit him in the ass in the end
Hmm.
because they released him because of allegations, right? Is that what happened?
Well, and then if you remember that Ariel Hawani interview, he like addressed all of it, and he was so open about everything. I'm kind of like, dude, you're kind of like, yeah, you're your own liability. Like,
Uh
like you're too honest, but then like all the shit you do, you're like, well, yeah, I did do it. Oh well, I don't know. So I don't think like he's a good talent. He looks good. He's a good wrestler,
hmm
but I don't think WWE wants that sort of liability when they've already got to deal with shit like Odyssey Jones or whoever it was that they just like lost.
Yeah, yeah. Too much of a risk. They can't do it, man.
Yeah, it's too much liability for not enough talent. Unless like the only way I could see him coming back is if Randy Orton was like, "Hey, sign my boy back." Like
hmm
if someone really like spoke up for him,
Yeah.
maybe.
But it's like they can only do so much. It all just depends on him. But from everything we've been seeing, he's a liability himself.
Yeah, yeah. You see, he's his own worst enemy. He
Yep.
really is. Um, Another signing here. The Motor City Machine Guns have signed with WWE via PW Insider. What do you think
That's
about that?
funny. I'm laughing because I've been seeing this like unfold on Twitter, and people are fucking mad for some reason. Because I don't know if they were previously signed to AEW, but they
I
only
don't think they
fought.
were.
Okay, because they only fought in AEW twice, and they never got used again.
Yeah, no, they were like. It's like they went over there for like they were their own indie thing, and they
hmm
like showed up on AEW to do some stuff.
hmm
But I think they were indie the whole time because I remember seeing them on the Ric Flair uh memorial, rest in peace, and his match his supposed last match or whatever,
uh-huh.
they were there, and so I think they've always been indie. They've just done stuff with AEW, but
hmm
kind of like all the other indie people show up and do shit.
Yeah. People were mad because they're like, oh, like you're going to WWE, like how dare they get signed? They're gonna get put on NXT, and then it's like, oh yeah, they're gonna put on NXT. You see what I mean? Like they're just there, like on a developmental. Yeah, because they want to. Oh, that's not fucking fair. Like they're better than that. Whatever. It's like you're mad because two 40-year-old men can make decisions for themselves. That is wild, dude. People are soft. I don't get it. It's like, and like I've read somewhere too that they wanted to go to NXT. Like they wanna do stuff there, and they want like they could put on great matches. It's just like my thing. If they do get called up to the main roster and they put on good matches, whatever, that it helps boost the tag division because I feel like the tag division in WWE is just kind of like wonky a little bit
Hmm.
because like the tag titles just haven't been defended in some time. Like I know the Bloodline, they got their tag championships, and who has it on Raw? It's the Judgment Day, and they just defended it like a couple weeks ago for the first time in like 76 days.
I forgot the Judgment Day had it. I don't know why I thought it was the Raw Truth, or I don't know if Theory and what's his name still had it. I don't know. I forget who
Altherian
had the belt.
Waller.
Yeah.
hmm Yeah, no. Theory and Waller, they lost the championships to DIY, and
Mm,
then DIY lost the belts to the Bloodline. And yeah, they lost it in like a short amount of time. It wasn't long at all.
hmm.
And with the tag belts on Raw, Truth and Miz had them, and I want to say they lost them to Judgment Day.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's where it currently stands now. And it's like, man, there should be more tag matches like with the belts and everything, man, because like they got a stacked roster with the tag division itself, and it's like a lot of them aren't being shown to their full potential.
Well, I just hope somewhere in the news Ricky Starks ends up signing with WWE. I'd like
Hmm.
that because I haven't heard much about my boy Ricky Starks. But yeah, I mean the Motor City Machine Guns. I remember seeing them on that Ric Flair Memorial thing, and they were pretty good. Seen them on
Hell yeah.
AEW a few times. They were good. So
See
yeah,
where it goes from there, man. I miss me some Ricky Starks.
yeah, Ricky Starks, and I'm missing me also the way they're kind of bringing my boy Chad Gable down. Not that
Ah.
them feuding with the Wyatt Six.
Hmm.
I mean, someone has to, but it's like, dude, he was like the biggest. He could have been the biggest heel if he had won the what was it, the Intercontinental Belt when he was
Hmm.
going against Sami Zayn. God, that was such a good story, and they just like
Oh, dude, I know.
they shot it down. They buried it so bad.
I just hope they have bigger plans for him. That's all I hope.
Him and for what's her name, Maxine, she's doing real
Hmm.
great. Her
Oh no,
the
yeah,
way she
she's doing a way better job than like months ago.
fuck yeah, she's like
Hmm.
500, 600% better than what she was before.
Yeah,
Crazy.
man, definitely.
But no, that's all that. We're gonna go into botches and other stuff here. Let's see what I got here. What's what I have? Chris Jericho has filed to trademark "Hi guys." Hi guys. I don't. I don't
It's
know
so
if he.
stupid, man.
I guess he could do that because he said it every time, just like Taco Tuesday.
Hi guys.
Hi
Taco
guys.
Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday, y'all, or whatever.
Good morning,
LeBron
sunshine.
while combing his bald head.
Combing his bald head. Oh my god, dude. Well, I guess if you have the money, shit, like whatever works for you.
Here's the next clip. I think you sent me this. That's it. I mean, it's just Asuka beating some like mixture together to make a pastry while John Cena's on the green screen there jamming to it. Yeah, I love Asuka. We need to see
Dude,
Asuka more too. Like she's, you know,
yeah, she's recovering. She went through
mm.
surgery. Yeah,
Well,
so
she's
she's
like
not
40
missing.
something, right?
Yeah, she's 40 something, but dude, she looks great.
Oh no, she looks great. No,
Hmm.
I'd let her get a green card from me.
Hey, green means it's good. There's no poison in it.
Here's the potentially new SmackDown logo via WrestleVotes. What do you think of this?
Um, so they updated it, and this is the new logo for SmackDown.
Oh, is
Uh,
it? It is.
yeah, yeah. When I sent this to you, I think it was like the day yesterday. Oh, no, 2 days ago on Friday. We're recording this on Sunday, and it was before SmackDown aired. And it was potentially that this was going to be the new logo, and turns out it is the new logo. Yeah, but it looks good. I like it.
It reminds me of like a F-150, F-250 type logo. It doesn't look. It doesn't look bad to me. I'm just like, I don't know. Like I wish it was more creative, but it doesn't look bad. It looks clean and slick. You
Yeah,
know.
it looks more slick. It reminds me of the Kia logo. You seen the Kia logo?
Yeah. Yeah. I know
That's
what you're
what it
talking
reminds
about.
me of. Yeah,
It's real slick. It is real slick.
yeah. Now they need to do Raw now. Ah,
Armando Alejandro Estrada has signed a Legends deal with WWE.
damn, good for him. That's good.
I feel like well, we were talking about it. Like a lot of people have been signing Legends deals. What was Victoria,
Hmm.
right? And then it was Jacqueline.
Jacqueline and now
Uh,
Armando.
yeah. And I don't know if I heard right, but who's that one chick that does the splits? That would do the splits going into the
Oh,
ring?
Melina.
Didn't she sign one too?
I hope so, man. I love me some Melina, dude.
Her name is Melina.
Yeah, ME. Yeah, WWE or Melina.
Let me see. Melina returns. Legends deal.
Um,
I just
this is
see Alejandro Estrada.
Yeah, not unless they already did it, but like years prior, you know.
Let's see. The Samoan bulldozer. No,
Samoan bulldozer.
I'm just seeing that. Maybe I read it somewhere. I don't know, but I mean, it's cool that they're signing up all these legends because you deserve it. Da,
No,
da, da, da. You deserve it. Da, 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 da.
you deserve it. Hey, hey, hey.
You want me to leg drop her? What? She a chameleon?
Is
What?
Armando a chameleon? Is
She an
Armando a
Indian?
lizard?
Next
Stupid.
year on the news, the CM Punk friendship bracelet is back on WWE's official shop. Previously, the bracelet had AJ and Larry on it. Now it has CM Punk. Did you see when this was going on?
Yes, man. This shit was crazy.
They had it.
What's? Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, they had it on the shop, and it said AJ and Larry, right? I think.
Hmm.
And then they took it down, like it was for sale, and then they took it down because I mean, who the fuck wants to buy that bracelet? And then like, I don't even think they early owned the rights to it technically, or
Hmm.
whatever. And then they put a new bracelet up that said CM Punk, but it's the exact same bracelet. It just says CM Punk now.
Yeah, that the girl who made the bracelet, she only made one, and that was the one they used in the feud, the one that Drew ripped in half.
Hmm.
And she was like, "Yeah, I made it for him, so that way he can use it like for the show, whatever, blah blah blah." Turn into a storyline, and then they released the, like you said, the bracelet, but it had AJ and Larry, and she went to Twitter and said, "Would have been nice if they told me about this,
Yeah,
because like she made it, and she could have, I guess, used the money like compensation or some shit from it."
fuck yeah.
Yeah, and then so they ended up change. They took it off the shop, and they changed it to where it says CM Punk now. Exact same design like Chicago, and it just says CM Punk now. But I feel like she should get some type of compensation from that shit.
I think she should. I mean, even if they changed it to CM Punk, I don't think that even like with the previous bracelet, I think they could have kept it and still somehow avoided any sort of legal shit. But
Hmm.
changing to CM Punk, I guess it makes it somehow better. I don't know.
I said I think they could have just done it in the first place where it just said CM Punk, and
Yeah.
then you know give her some type of compensation because she's the one that created that design.
Oh yeah, and it's gonna make them millions, I'm sure. CM Punk millions too. Give
Oh,
her something.
absolutely.
Let's see. We have next here. This is real wrestling.
Whoa.
So what everyone just heard is 3-on-3 match between three Marios and three Luigis in, I guess, Japan, I assume. And they were wrestling, I guess, for Princess Peach, and then they were fighting with like mushrooms and stuff like that. And then Bowser came out, and then Peach got a star, and defeated Bowser with the what is it, like a hook suplex
Hmm.
sort of. But yeah, that was wrestling.
I can't believe Peach would no sell Bowser and go to work for herself.
She had a star, man. Of course she's gonna not sell it.
And not my stardom. Not my Joshi wrestling.
Here's not bad though. Not bad.
No, yeah,
Five
it was pretty funny.
stars. B when I spot someone wearing a rescue shirt.
Oh shit. Dude, that's fucking funny.
I like the Rockwell song featuring Michael Jackson.
Oh hell
I
yeah.
feel like
Is
somebody's watching
is that
me.
really Michael Jackson? I thought it wasn't.
No, it is. For
It
some reason, I
is.
don't know how Rockwell got Michael Jackson to sing the chorus for that song, but yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's Michael Jackson.
Somebody's watching me.
Yeah, that song goes hard.
Hell yeah, it's badass.
Next year, here's a old interview with Ricochet.
Tonight I got Chuck Taylor. This is like our 15th million time wrestling. He's beat me a couple times, I beat him a couple times. But I think tonight I'm going to get this. I think I'm going to pull it out. I mean, we've wrestled all over the world. And our first time here, it was all right. But this time it's going to make a difference. I'm going to make a change. I'm coming to Jakara full force, baby.
What do you think about Ricochet with hair?
I see. Just knowing that he's bald today, I feel like he's just wearing that. And they were like, "Hey, cut a promo right now on the spot," and he was like trying on different wigs. You know,
He looks very young here. I'll say that.
dude, it looks criminal for him to have hair. That looks so weird.
It looks AI generated. This clip.
Oh
That's what
my
it does.
god, he has a lisp. I don't know if you heard his lisp.
Nah.
Yeah,
Does he lisping?
he sounds like it.
Tonight I got Chuck Taylor. This is like our
I
15th
hear
million
it.
time wrestling.
Yeah.
He's beat me a couple times, I beat him a couple.
I thought that was just him being a baby face. It was just
Baby
baby
face.
face.
Goo goo gagoo.
Here's
My Little Pony.
here's our truth going live on Instagram.
Yeah, you know it. Yeah, you know it. Yeah. Oh, Happy! Happy! Oh, wow, come on, stop, Happy! Yeah. Chua! I said, ha! Chua! Chua!
Oh man. Let me ask you, do you know why he did this?
I do know, and
Okay,
it's hilarious.
okay.
It's hilarious.
Did you see the that he went on that same the like the actual live and he was commenting like, "Oh, they fucking."
And he's like, "What you doing, boy?
He's
No,
like,
you
"What are you
live
doing,
right now."
No, you on
Yeah,
live,
no. So
Oh my god,
the
dude, that shit's
context
so
to
funny.
this, what we just heard, everyone, was our truth. He's on Instagram Live, and he's off camera, and it sounds like he's doing a bit where he's pretending that he's having sex with someone, like with a female, right? And the whole context of this clip is that Shannon Sharp, who I guess is a retired NFL player, right, or something,
Retired NFL player. Now he's like a sports analyst now.
and a podcaster,
Mhm.
that Shannon Sharp had previously in the week gone accidentally live on Instagram, threw his phone down, and started having sex with a woman, and all you could hear was him doing it with her, like off camera. You couldn't
Mhm.
see anything, and it was hilarious because the live and people were commenting, and like you were saying, our truth was commenting,
Mm.
"What are you doing, Unc? What are you doing? No,
He's all,
you
he's
live
all,
right."
He's like, part of my language, but they fucking right now. Oh, dude.
And here's our truth, basically making fun of it. He's doing a little parody of it, and
Ah,
yeah, it was
dude.
hilarious. It was fucking
It's fucking
hilarious.
funny, dude. Oh my god. Protect our truth at all costs, man.
No,
Honestly.
no, that was fucking hilarious.
Ah,
Seeing this,
shit.
and then him just seeing the clip on Shannon Sharp's thing, or whatever. You could see our truth's name in the comments, like saying it
Yes.
all caps. What are you
Oh my
doing?
god.
Uh,
It's just
fucking
so
our
funny, man.
Here's Dean Malenko telling a story. Hilarious story about the man of a thousand holds. Let's listen to Dean Malenko here.
Also known there as the man of a thousand holds.
Also been man of a thousand positions. Because Ric Flair one time was in the ring in Munisco, Virginia, and he put his arm around me, and this is national TV, and said, "This is my man right here, the man of a thousand positions." So right away I had to call my wife and tell her, "He's just kidding." She's only seen one.
She's only seen
Right?
one.
that background music was real loud for that, but
I know. You sound like Clint Eastwood from today.
the Ric Flair telling the man of a thousand positions, and it's like,
Oh
no,
no.
my wife's only seen one.
My wife's only seen one.
Finally, lastly, here's a video. Let's see here. Let's listen to this. Fucking so cool.
Oh man, dude. I see his I follow him on TikTok, and he does a series with his cat Poncho. That he had
That's hilarious.
a random cat just show up on his ranch. He's like, "Oh, what the hell am I gonna do with this cat?" And then now like the cat sits on his shoulder. He's like, "Hey everybody, Stone Cold here. Got Poncho, tough son of a bitch, on my shoulder."
he's I don't know. He's breaking all kayfabe there with just loving cats and
I
all
know
that
it's
shit.
it's bad for business.
It's funny though. He
Oh no, it's
when
great.
yeah, I feel like we're all whenever everyone, even us, get older, we all like change our views. Like I've been watching the Undertaker's podcast, and all
Mhm.
they talk about for the first like half hour is college football. Like,
Oh
oh,
my god.
UT and Austin and all of the Aggies, and it's just like, dude, when you gonna talk about wrestling?
It's all right. People are gonna watch this anyway.
Yeah, no, but I mean that's how it is here too. We'll spend the first 10-30 minutes just talking about whatever, but
Talk about moving furniture.
but that's today's show, guys. I want to thank all y'all for listening to That's All Kayfabe. I want to thank Gabe for being here. Thank everyone for liking, subscribing, sharing, listening, all that stuff. Gabe, what do you want to say to the people?
Nothing much, man. You took the words right out of my mouth. Thank y'all for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button, all that stuff supports the channel.
All right, well, thank you, Gabe, for being here. I want to thank all y'all for listening. We'll see y'all next week, everybody. Take care. Bye.